Hello friends, how's it going? It's me, Betty Jean. Today's video is another segment in my current 2022 makeup collection and declutter series. In the last one, I attacked my complexion products, my primers, foundations, concealers, powders, and setting sprays, and today I want to cruise right into bronzers. It's funny because in my declutter series videos in the past, bronzers have never had their own video. They've always just been included with other things because I usually had like very few. I suddenly have enough to dedicate its own video to, and that's just bonkers. I went fairly hard with the decluttering in this video, and I feel so good with where I'm at. I filmed that portion the other day, and I'm already just so much more re-inspired to use some of the bronzers that I haven't touched in a while that I consider to be favorites, but maybe have been kind of pushed to the sidelines a little bit. I'm super excited about doing this series again this year. I'm really excited to do all the other aspects of my collection. Feel free to check out the ones in years past if you are curious, and just stay tuned over the next couple months while I continue to do the rest. As usual, just a couple things before we get into my collection and declutter video. Number one, please do not get offended if I happen to declutter your favorite bronzer in the world. It's really not that deep. I'm so happy that it's your favorite. It just might not be mine anymore, and that's okay. We all have different preferences. Number two, please do not ask me to send you anything. I feel very weird giving used makeup to people I don't know. I give dibs to my friends and family. I throw out things that are very old and no longer good anymore, and things that are not used or lightly touched, I tend to donate. And finally, number three, please do not feel pressured to declutter your collection if that is not what's right for you. It's just what's right for me. It's what I need to do. I like doing a reset at the end of every year. I accumulate a lot of makeup, and I like to do what I can to try to condense it back down to the things that I'm actually loving and using. Before we hop into the video, I did of course film this look. I film every look you see on this channel. It should already be up on my Instagram and TikTok by the time this video goes up. And as far as my accessories go, these plugs are Love Kills Boutique. These earrings I think are from Shop Sun & Co, and this necklace is from Ana Luisa. So yeah, without further ado, let's just hop in and declutter my bronzer collection. All right, my friends, back at it again with another declutter. Like I said in the beginning, we are doing bronzers today, and I don't know who I am having this many bronzers. In like the last few years of me doing declutters, I have like 1, 2, maybe a third. I have 17 things to talk about in the bronzer slash a contour palette category. 17, Betty Jean, excuse me. You've like never crept over 5, and now you have 17. I don't know why this was the year of bronzers, but I'll be honest with you, I had fun trying out a lot of new bronzers, but this has gotten out of control. I'm cutting myself off. I want this under 10, for sure. This is ridiculous. Like, I definitely have some bronzers I can let go of. I do not need all these at all. And then I end up using the same one like every day anyways. Like I switch it up on occasion, but I know what my favorites are, and I feel like sometimes when I have too many of a certain category, I almost get overwhelmed and then I stick with just one because it's like a lot to use them all. I don't know. That's just how I am, but we're gonna get into it. I have 2 kind of contour palettes. One's like a trio. I have powder bronzers and I have cream bronzers, and we're gonna talk about every single one, and I'm excited. We are gonna knock this down to under 10, mark my words. Let's kick it off with these palettes. If you wanna call this one a palette, I'm just putting this in the palette category. This is an old Charisma contour palette from Kaleidos. This is the shade Cool and Light. It looks like this. I actually quite enjoyed this, but I don't really reach for it anymore. I just feel like I use other things more than this one, so I don't really need to keep this one around anymore. It was fun, but I don't need it anymore. And then this guy, Lunatic Labs, sent this to me years ago. I was so excited. I felt so cool getting sent this. This giant contour palette, and part of me hangs on to this because like retail price, this is expensive. I think it's like over $60. It might even be more than that, which to me is a lot. Like it's hard for me to justify spending that much money. And I kept it because I'm like, oh, well, what if I need like grays to mix in with my contour, or these cool tone browns, or these blushes when I have a menagerie of blushes that I do not need more of. I don't reach for this. I don't remember the last time I reached for this. I used this a lot back in the day when like actually contouring was more of the thing rather than bronzing. I never use this. I don't know if I've used it once this year since the last declutter, and as cool as the packaging is, I don't think I need to keep this anymore. I'm just simply not using it, and it's just collecting dust and going to waste. So I don't need to keep this one around anymore. I never thought I'd see the day. I've been hoarding this one, but I just simply don't use it. So there's no point hanging on to it. Moving on to my stack of powders. I have 7 here. We decluttered both of those 2 palettes, by the way. I didn't feel the need to update, but yeah, started with 2 palettes, decluttered 2 palettes. I have 0 palettes. And now with powders, I have 7. Thinking we can knock this down to 4 or less. Let me just start with some of my favorites. This Sigma one is my absolute favorite of all time right now. The Sigma Light Bronzer, I'm wearing it as I'm filming this right now, but I'm not wearing the exact same look as my intro because I haven't filmed the intro yet. I'm gonna film that, I think, later because this video is not even going up yet. I just had time to film this portion. But regardless, I've been wearing this one a lot. I wear it so often. It is just such a beautiful color and it blends so nicely. So I'm absolutely keeping the Sigma Light Bronzer. I also absolutely love this Fenty one in the shade Into Sun. I think it is just such a good bronzer. Maybe I can swatch some of these. I don't know how swatch heavy I'm gonna get in future ones just because literally last year doing this declutter series, I spent probably at least 80 hours just on the series, which was absolutely insane. Okay, well here's Sigma and here's Into Sun, so you can kind of see the difference there. Into Sun is a little bit lighter. They're both beautiful, so smooth. I love the colors of them, so keeping both of those. I think I also want to keep this glowish one by Huda Beauty in the shade Light. Rule of thumb, if you don't know what bronzer shade I am, it's probably 1 light. It's right there. Bronzers are the worst thing to swatch ever, but it has a little more glow than the other 2. It looks more glowy when it's blended out with a brush. Swatches don't really tell the full story, but again, similar color. I mean, that's the color that works for me for bronzer. So yeah, I'm gonna keep this one. I do want to keep one glowy one kicking around. And then I think I'm gonna keep this Give Me Glow one. This is a really unique one. It's in the shade Sunburn. It's a pinky tone bronzer, and I thought that was a really fun idea because I don't have any pinky tone bronzers. This one can almost work as a blush. It's this one, obviously. And I almost use it as like a bronzer blush hybrid, like I kind of do both. And I think it's fun and unique, and I don't really have anything quite like it. Like, I'm sure I have blushes this shade, but I don't know. This one seems weird to keep, but I am liking it, so I think I'll keep it kicking around. It offers me a little something different. And I think the 3 that I'm not gonna keep are these. The Colourpop Get Sandy Super Shock Bronzer is fine. I don't really have any complaints. It's just not my favorite. Like, it's not my favorite one to gravitate toward. It's not my favorite formula. I guess I can swatch this one as well for you. It's a little bit more of a putty sort of texture. It's right there. It's almost like a cream powder hybrid. I like interchange what I think about the Super Shocks if I think they're a cream or a powder because they're kind of both. But more powdery in my mind because it dries down more powder-esque. But it looks like that. It's not a bad one. It's just not my favorite. I don't know. This Colourpop one is real old. I didn't realize all 3 of the bronzers I was going to declutter were Colourpop, but it's called Talk to the Palm. This was my favorite for a long time. I just haven't been reaching for it anymore. Wow, this one is so much like darker and warmer than the other ones that I gravitate towards nowadays. Clearly my bronzer tastes have changed. I feel like this one's a lot lighter when I use a big fluffy brush and blend it out, but I like the glow. I just haven't been reaching for it, so I don't really need to keep it around. I've been happier with the other ones. And last is the Avila Beach Mega Bronzer. Again, I don't really have anything negative to say about it. It's just hasn't been the one I've been reaching for. This is closer to that color that I reach for though. But I don't know, it's just like between this matte bronzer, this color, the Fenty one, this color, or the Sigma one, that color, I'm reaching for the Fenty or Sigma one more. So I think I'm gonna let this one go. So yeah, started with 7 powder bronzers, decluttered 3. Now I have 4, and that feels a lot more comfy for me. Moving on to creams, I have 8 creams, and I definitely want this down to under 5 as well. Like, I'd really like it close to 4 like I did with my powders. It's so hard when I have like a reflective one. Patrick Ta, you're just gonna have to live over there because you're really reflective and annoying, so we're just gonna keep him to the side. I liked what I did with the powders where I just kind of like immediately grabbed my favorites and then I dwindled down the ones I didn't like. But I'm gonna do it a little opposite this time. I'm gonna take away a couple that I know I don't want. One being my Milk Makeup stick. Can you believe it? Mostly just because this is really old. Like, I used it recently just to kind of get use out of it again, mostly to prep for this video and just determine if I still want it, because this was my #1 cream bronzer, my only cream bronzer for a long time. And it's not the same. I can just tell this one's getting a little old. It doesn't smell bad. It just doesn't perform as creamy anymore. So I'm gonna actually throw this one away because it's disgusting. This is probably at least 4 years old, if not close to 5. It's really, really old. So this one's done. Let's see. These are my 2 favorite cream bronzers like ever. And I reach for both shades. I think I need to just keep one though. Let's see. This one is Happy Soul. And this one is, what is this one called? Power Boost or something? Yeah. Oh, I like them both. I really don't need both though. But I like them both, and I like the two different shades because they both work for me. It's just like they give me a different vibe. Okay, as of right now, I'm keeping both of these because they are truly my favorite cream bronzers ever. Ugh, but I don't need both. What am I doing to myself? Okay, I'm gonna just set those aside because I know I'm keeping one of them. I wanna swatch that milk one also just for funsies. The milk one is right there. I'm thinking I'm probably gonna keep Power Boost because the lighter one does appeal to me a little bit more. I feel like when I use Happy Soul, I do have to be a little more careful. I think I'm answering my own question. So yeah, I'm gonna keep Power Boost and declutter Happy Soul. Fantastic formula though, creamiest bronzers ever. Okay, this Patrick Ta one was a gift from one of my longtime salon clients. This is actually a blush, but I was using it kind of as like a blushy bronzer. It has this cream side and this powder side. So let's see, we have that cream there and that powder there. It's kind of like a rosy tone. I'm torn because like part of me feels really cool having a Patrick Ta product, but the other part of me is realizing I don't use it very much. And I don't want it to just sit around and gather dust. Like she gave it to me because she wasn't using it anymore. So like it's no hard feelings because she also wasn't using it. I feel like I might give it to a friend because I know I'm not reaching for it and I'd rather it not collect dust. You know what I mean? I think that's what I'm gonna do. All right, now we're on these 4. I do like this Huda Beauty one. I do like this Huda Beauty one. It's very pigmented. This is the Fair Tantour. It's so pigmented. It's almost like, it is like truly a hybrid between a contour and a bronzer because it has a little bit of cool toneness, but also some warmth. I think I'll keep this one because it is unique. I feel like it's pretty unique as far as tone goes for what I have, including my powders. So I think that offers something good for me. I think this Milk Makeup one, this is the Bionic bronzer in the shade Time Travel. I like the formula. Ooh, that just oiled all over me. Okay, let me shake this up and try again. Ew, it's like so oily. I don't know if it like went bad. It was never this oily for me before. Well, that might be garbage. That sucks. Because I was gonna say I like the formula, I just couldn't remember how I felt about the color, but that's pretty nasty and I'd be pretty upset if I did that on my face and then ruin my makeup. So I'm just gonna wipe that off and pretend that didn't happen. All right, e.l.f. Putty Bronzer. How do I feel about this? What shade are you in? Tan Lines. Oh, my nails are too long to swatch this properly. Just gonna pop Tan Lines down there. I mean, it looks pretty much like the other ones, right? I don't remember how I felt about this one. Like, it's not bad. Like, I remember not disliking it, but I also don't feel like I'm head over heels for it, you know? I think I'm gonna set this one in the declutter pile. And then I have this Soul Body one in the shade Fair. It smells heavily like coconut, which a lot of the Soul Body stuff does. Oh yeah, this one's very, very warm. Like I have to be a little bit careful and be very mindful of my blush choice because otherwise it looks very orange on my skin. I mean, clearly that literally looks like an orange splotch on my skin. I feel like because I have to be so careful with this one, I'm going to declutter it. And because I'm only keeping 2 creams, I'm putting Happy Soul back because I think I'm gonna be sad if I don't have both of those Rare Beauty shades because I kid you not, like I reach for both of them so often. And I think I'm allowed to have both. Well, out of those cream bronzers, I started with 8, I decluttered 5, 2 of them being garbage specifically. So I have 3. Let me do my final totals because I knocked this down by a lot, holy cow. All right, so the numbers are in. I started with 17 total things today. I decluttered 10 and I'm keeping 7. So that's much more reasonable, I feel like, because my bronzers were getting out of control. And some of them I wasn't even using. So this is much more curated to my favorites and I'm very happy about that. And I'm very happy that I'm keeping both of these. I know that's a little nuts, but I love them both so much. So now for your viewing pleasure, here is the picture of the 17 total products that I started out with today. Here are the 10 things that I'm getting rid of. Again, 2 of them being specifically to the garbage. I don't know why that Milk Makeup one turned into straight oil. And I am keeping these 7 things right here. So that is my bronzer collection and declutter. And it's so funny because in the past, I didn't used to do like a specific bronzer one. Like I would do bronzers and face palettes because I had so little. But this time I had so many bronzers that it felt fitting to do its own video. So that's it for this one. I guess let's zoom out and finish up this video. Thank you so much for watching my video decluttering all of my bronzers. Well, I didn't declutter all of my bronzers. I decluttered quite a bit of my bronzers though. I'm very curious to hear your thoughts. What are your favorite bronzers of all time? Do you love any of the ones I mentioned today? Let's chat down below. If you made it to the end of this video, why don't you leave an emoji that represents the shade of bronzer that you like? For instance, if you like a very warm orangey bronzer, leave me some warm orangey emojis. If you like more pinky tone bronzers, leave me some pinky peachy emojis. Or if you like something in the middle, leave me like a teddy bear emoji or something. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It helps my channel out a lot. And if you're not already, you can follow me on my other socials. You can join the battybean fam. I am battybean on everything, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. And if you want, you can subscribe if you want to see more of my videos. I'm posting most days over here. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Okay, bye. Get all these swatches off. I swear, like, I really might not swatch my entire collection like I did last year because it almost killed me last year. And I know that's probably gonna hurt some people's feelings, but with these declutters, I can't please everyone. Like, even when I did take the time to like swatch every single lipstick, single shadow, highlighter, everything, I still got people complaining about the way I swatched. And it's like, I spent like 80 hours simply just on that series, and I almost died. Like, I literally made myself sick last year. So possibly not gonna do that again, and you're just gonna have to bear with me.